On behalf of all of us at Augusta National, I'd like to welcome you back here to our course and to our tournament.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your great win, Brookline last year, and welcome again. I'd like to begin by asking you a question about your dedication to data. You gather a lot of data about your game, and I'm interested to know what you do with that data to prepare for a tournament like our Masters here.
Yeah, for me, the big thing that I get out of it is, certain ways to play certain holes. Do I need to be more aggressive? What's the scoring averages to certain pins? How my dispersions kind of decide my targets when I'm hitting into the pins. So there's, we collect a lot of stuff, and I think it's very helpful for me in kind of organising, what I need to practice for the upcoming tournament and what areas I need to concentrate on.
So it all hangs together. Huh?
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Something like that, anyway.
Let me open it up to the room, please. Thank you.
Hi, Matt. Just wondering, how would you sum up the state of your game coming into the week? It was a solid start, sort of in Hawaii at the start of the season, but probably not the kind of form you were hoping for in most recent weeks.
Yeah, it's been a disappointing sort of year so far, obviously. I kind of hurt my neck literally just before going to Pebble at the end of January there, and then Riviera, the Friday, I kind of started getting like sensation down my shoulder into my chest, and then my trainer was like, we should get an MRI on that. So I went straight to the hospital in LA to get an MRI, and then it was like a slight disc bulge. So because of that, I've, for the previous 3 weeks, I wasn't able to train in the gym as I was doing in January. That kind of was all put to a stop. Wasn't able to continue my speed work that I've, obviously done religiously. So that I basically ended up, the timing of it would just kind of put me straight behind the 8 ball. All of a sudden, like the work I'd done in the off season just became non-existent. I wasn't moving as well as I needed to swing it as well as I needed to. And it's just been kind of compounding of errors, really, because of my neck. Then I've not been able to swing it, then my swings changed kind of for compensating. And it's just obviously, it's difficult. I've never had an injury like this normally. If my neck's kind of flared up, I've been over it in 2 or 3 days and I'm back to normal. Obviously this one's this one's been a lot longer. Definitely sort of feeling better now and getting there. But I feel like, certainly over the last 2 months, I've lost a lot of ground and definitely regressed quite a lot. So it's kind of, we're back to the bottom again and kind of slowly trying to build it back up. So slowly getting there, but it's just gonna take time. So, but yeah, and then because of that, that's really why I've not played great.
Can I ask a follow-up? How frustrating is that, considering obviously how great 2022 was, and you were looking forward to even better things in this season?
Yeah, it's very, very frustrating. I think the saving grace for me is, I've got my exemptions. It's not like I need to worry or panic or try and change anything. It's just going back to what we were doing before the injury, just slowly trying to build it up and get better each day, really. I think the big thing for me is, because of this whole period, I've been searching, or what is it, and probably underappreciated the injury as a whole. Probably completely underappreciated it, really, because I've just not been able to do. It's only been the last week or 2, really, at a stretch where I've been able to do normal stuff again and train normally. So I think that's been a big factor in me, not, like I say, underappreciating and the injury and the kind of severity that it had on my game, really.
William?
Matt, prior to the injury, which obviously has been your focus since the winter, but prior to that, how did winning the Open change or not change your life and your game?
Yeah, obviously it changed my life massively. So many different aspects. You know, there's more demand on my time now. Whether it's media from like this, you know, this is my first ever press conference at the Masters, apart from when I was an amateur. And then also sponsors, you know, they want to use the time more. Before the US Open, I had a lot of great sponsors, and they had time in the contract that they could use, and I never ended up doing it. They didn't kind of want to follow up on it, which, you know, at the time for me was great. So, but now, you know, totally understand, and you know, it's not an issue at all. It's just trying to, you know, manage my time as best as I can, and that's kind of been the biggest change.
Neil?
Hi, Matt. The weather forecasts are a bit sketchy for this week. If it does cut up rough, how does that impact you? And do you think you're better suited, being a Yorkshireman, to cope with it than maybe some others?
I don't necessarily think I'm better suited. I mean, I think the condition of the golf course obviously drastically changes. I imagine the sub-air will be on to keep it as dry as possible and as firm as possible. But depending on how much rain there is, it's obviously always difficult. So I think I look at previous performances here when it's been really, really windy, really sort of cold, or, you know, where you've kind of got to be gritty. Then yeah, I would say that definitely suits me. I think just generic rain is not really, I don't know if it suits anyone really. I think everyone's pretty miserable playing in that, but I don't know. I wouldn't say like the rain kind of suits me in any way in particular.
Mike?
Hi, Matt. You mentioned that was the first kind of proper injury that you've had. Obviously, mentally, given the time that it came at, will have been a bit of a challenge. Just wondered if there was anyone that you turned to kind of help you with that mental side of it, maybe Billy or anybody else?
Definitely not Billy, because Billy was like, just get on with it, you know. So that was, definitely not Billy. But no, my coach, Mike Walker, has been fantastic in that. I work with a psychologist as well in the UK, Robbie Anderson, and he's been very helpful too. But Mike's been a big part of that. And he's not just my coach. I've been with him since I was like 14 years old. So we've obviously got a very close relationship as well. But he's very good psychologically and understands that. And I think him obviously being on the outside, he can kind of see what's going on, see how I'm dealing with things, and know when to step in and kind of have a conversation really. So I think Mike's been really good for that.
See you. Alan Shipnuck? Thank you.
Matt, if you go back to the U.S. Open last year, that was obviously the first time the LIV guys and the Tour loyalists mixed together, and I'm just wondering if you were privy to any frosty exchanges or awkwardness or anything like that.
This week?
No, Brookline.
Oh, no, nothing.
Nothing?
No, nothing.
Is there a different feeling in the air this week?
Not that I know of. I've said hello to everyone. It's been good to see them.
They say hello back?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I no issues.
John?
Do we know how you did the shoulder injury?
I don't know exactly. Obviously, I've been doing speed training for a long time, and the session I did before it flared up was actually 3 days before it did. So this time, I wouldn't necessarily put it down to that. I don't know if I've done something in the gym, maybe exercise-wise that kind of triggered it. I don't know if it's kind of, it was kind of just hovering there, and then something in the gym made it come out, but don't know what it is exactly. And like I say, it kind of took 3 weeks really to really diagnose the problem, just because I was playing, and it was getting better day by day, but really, really, really slowly. And that was kind of unusual, really. So.
Back to you, William, and then I'll come back to you then, okay?
I know you've discussed it before, but could you just explain the origins of how, as a youngster, you got into analytics even before you had access to all the vast amount that's available now?
Yeah, I think for me, I probably thought it was simpler than it actually is. I just got into the numbers and thought, well, okay, if I'm better from 8 foot, or if I'm better from 10 foot, or if I can just hit it 3 foot closer, X and Y are going to happen, and I'm going to be a better player. And I think I looked at it very black and white, because I'm not just going to go out tomorrow and practice certain areas and they just all of a sudden get better. But I think I just really enjoyed that like, oh, actually, if I improve these areas, I'm going to improve as a whole. So I think that just, I enjoyed that. I was intrigued by it, and I think it just went from there, really.
Phil?
Matt, I think you've had 3 67s round here. I think they're your best scores. When you look back at those, what did you do well those days? So what's the key to scoring around here for you?
I can't remember.
You've just said you write everything down.
It's a long time. Yeah, that's a long time ago. But I can't remember when my last one was. Do you know?
I can tell you. Second round in 2019.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just remember the first round being awful. So, I mean, I can't think of anything in particular. I think what is underrated around here is driving the ball well. I think, the fairways aren't necessarily tight, but I wouldn't necessarily say some of them are generous either. I do think it's important to be in position off the tee. Maybe that's just me personally, I don't know, but I feel like that's a big thing that I've noticed around here when I play well is I drive the ball very well. Going back to the stats, approach play and short game is key. You've got to hit it into the right spots on the green, hit it close, and then also when you do hit your bad shot, you've got to be on the right side of the green, the right misses, not short-sided, and then your short game comes into play. So I think those two are statistically the most important aspects of doing well around here. If you look at the winners, they tend to be really, really good approach players and have hit the ball well into the green that week. So I think those are looking at those are the most important things.
Everybody's getting asked their view on the new 13th tee, so what's yours?
It's great. It's fine. I don't really have no, it's fine. It's the line obviously moves further right for me. If the conditions allow me to go for it, then I'll go for it. Otherwise, probably be a layup and just, try and make a birdie that way.
Mike?
Just given that it's not been obviously the ideal preparation for you, what does success look like at this year's Masters?
Making a cut would be a good start, probably. But I think for me that is something that I've kind of done a little bit of work on myself to try and kind of say, well, it's early in the season. This is where I'm at with my game. Like, my expectations have got to match that. That my expectations in previous years throughout my whole career have been very high. I felt, given the work that I put into my game, that's kind of where I want to be. But I think for me, I definitely feel better physically. I definitely feel better mentally. I feel like my game's kind of slowly getting there, but at the same time, I'm still in an early kind of, effectively a rebuild phase of getting stronger and swinging it better. So, I just think it's trying to take it day by day and kind of just getting better each day. That's kind of been the goal for me, is just, all I can do every day is what, my coaches ask of me, of what I want to achieve that day. And I think it's kind of just trying to keep my expectations at the right level to match where I'm currently at with my game.